I worked at a gas station. I was 17 and the only person on shift that night. A man came into the store wearing shorts and a jacket, but no shirt. By the way, it was cold outside. He limped around the store, muttering to himself, bought a coffee, and told me to say hello to one of the regulars. Let's call her Pam. And leaves. An hour later, Pam came in, and when I was ringing up her items, I told her the guy said hello. She had a confused look on her face, so I tried describing the man to her. While I'm describing him, her face goes ghostly white, and I asked if she was okay. She said yes, but then proceeded to pull out her phone and call her husband and said to him, "Lock the doors and call the cops. I'll be home in 3 minutes," and rushed out. I don't know what happened after that, but it still scared the crap out of me. I've worked as a night guard in an old court which shared a back wall with an equally old arrest building. The guard room, where we spent time between patrols, shared a wall with an execution chamber, no longer in use, but one that was active within my lifetime. So yeah, old, creaky building and room with such morbid history combined created quite a mood. Now, I generally don't believe in supernatural, but the fear is there when you have to walk around a dark, empty building like that. Anyway, one night I was patrolling as usual, looking around, and was a good half into my typical patrol route when I noticed something in a corner of my eye. Nothing obvious, just a small shape moving behind me. I've immediately turned around, but the thing ran into a nearby corridor, not making a sound and still staying just out of direct line of sight. So I'm frozen there, stopped in a half turn, not moving a muscle and panicking. Seconds pass and I'm weighing my options between doing my job and looking like an idiot and calling someone. Finally, I move toward the corridor, trying to move silently. I look inside, shine my flashlight, and there's nothing there, which was almost worse than if there was something there, since the corridors are interconnected, so whatever was there could have escaped and be anywhere in the building. I look around, find nothing, and eventually decide to finish my patrol. I turn around and OMFG, it's on the other side. Same thing. I turn my head and it scampers into the corridor I came from. Shocked, I move my neck again, and weirdly, I see the same movement again. MFW. It was a stain in the corner of my glasses the entire time. At the hospital, where I did my internship, there was a supposedly haunted elevator. The residents there say that sometimes when they go to higher floors and use the elevator, it would sometimes go to the basement first and open, despite having no people there. From there, a child-sized shadow would get on. They say you shouldn't look at the shadow directly if you didn't want anything to happen to you. They also said the shadow would get off at the 3rd floor, where the ICU was, and whenever it did, someone would die among the ICU patients. So they said that the child shadow was actually escorting patients to the afterlife. I never believed the story, until my pediatrics rotation. When I used the elevator to go to the 6th floor, the elevator went to the basement first and opened. It was the first time that ever happened to me, and I was so tired that night that I forgot the stories about that happening, so I idly looked at the basement while waiting for the doors to close. It was more of a storage floor. Medical records of patients, old cabinets, an old mop squeezer bucket, a battered sofa where the janitors sometimes rested. Then, as the doors closed, I felt the elevator shudder slightly, the way when someone heavy gets on, and from my peripheral vision, the right side of the elevator was dark. I immediately remembered the stories, closed my eyes, and whispered, "Please, I'm just doing my rounds. Please, I'm just doing my rounds." Then the elevator moved up again. It stopped, and the doors opened, and I felt something brush against my arm. When the doors closed again, I opened my eyes and saw that the elevator had just left the 3rd floor. As I continued my rounds a short while later, a code blue at the ICU was announced on the PA system.